should have put down part 2. Dang, my hair. I don't know if you can chat. I guess you can chat on my phone. Now, like I said, it is time for the young people to take the lead. It's their time now. Even though don't condone violence, however, they organized and it was protests in multiple cities. I'm proud of the young people for standing up for what they believe in, and they don't want the corruption anymore. They tired of it. They were saying, hey, Bogart, they were saying that it's 40 people coming up missing every day, 60 killings every day, and they tired of the corruption with the cartel, and the government is not doing enough. Now, President Trump offered Sheinbaum when he went against the cartel. He told her, if you need the United States assistance, then we will help. We'll help you. She said no, because he was gonna send some warships to start bombing the cartel, but he really can't do that without the support. Congress got to give the support. But he surely is blowing up them Venezuelan drug ships now. He blowing them out the water. Yep, this better now, Money Loc, ain't it? He blowing their ass right out the water. So the youth is saying they tired of the corruption. And, I get it. And I'm proud of, damn, I wish I could find that video. I'm going to see if oh, you know what? I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to go to Oscar. That's the Gen Z protests in Mexico against the cartels and the corruption because they killed 2 mayors. They assassinated one in broad daylight, and the other mayor, they cut his head off and put it on the hood of his car. The cartel did. And the youth is saying, we tired of this. We want peace. Let me see if I can find that interview. These young men were so well spoken. Let me see if I can find that video. Organizers. Mexican protest. Let me see if I can find that.
Last night had the fourth night of rioting in Los Angeles yesterday. And
in
you
Los
can see
Angeles,
that it's pretty much exactly as you would expect from these things. The majority of the
oh, that's the wrong one.
protesters,
Nope,
rioters have gone home.
That's the wrong one. No, that's not giving me what I want. Let me just go back. Let me see what's going on Oscar channel. I love his channel. I'm sure he filmed this because I'm sure he was right there. Let me see if I can find his channel. Yep, here we go. Oscar Blue Ramirez. He is awesome. Oh, he live now. Let's see what he's talking about. Oh, he just getting started. I'm gonna go back to his live. He was there yesterday. Let me get to his.
I see that it's only because of a political agenda what you guys are doing in the U.S. You guys are not interested of our flag. You guys are not interested in what we're going through. You guys are interested only on policies and attacking the Republicans because it's white supremacy and you're a sellout and you're a coconut and you're a bootlicker of the white man and all this stupidity language. But in the meantime, our people are getting killed.
That's
Mayors
right.
are getting killed. And we are risking our lives getting tear gas, getting hit by rocks, getting hit by rubber bullets over here protesting against a narco government.
Come on, Oscar. Tell it.
David Fardan, okay, I will reach out to you, my brother. Thank you so much. Protesting against a narco government, risking our lives to be targeted later on.
This is Oscar Ramirez. He is awesome. Let me see your message. Oh, that's not what we even talking about, Southern mate. We not talking about sex. We talking about Gen Z rising up and doing and protesting in Mexico about the corruption. That's what we talking about. We ain't talking about sex. I'm not interested.
Just buy me a coffee right there in the link. If not, you can go directly to the link. It will help a lot of people. Thank you so much. I'm asking, for help. I usually say, buy me coffee is right there, but this time I'm asking for help. So this is the protest, right? The broadcast of the protest. What happened after we got there? So we get there, and there's a huge banner on the floor of basically the logo of the Gen Z. And we saw a couple of infiltrated people dressed like Antifa. It's called the Black Bloc. They're not Antifa, but it's called Black Bloc.
Wow.
Now, these people are exactly used as Antifa, agitate, penetrate and enter. Somebody just donated a coffee. My God, thank you so much. Kelly, thank you so much. And Anonymous, thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. It will help a lot right now. Thank you. For my medical and for my doctor and take care of stuff. So we get there and there's these.
This is Oscar Ramirez. It is. I showed the protest in Mexico, but I went to Oscar Ramirez channel. He was there. He's a journalist in Mexico, and he's talking about it. But it is, and matter of fact, here, let me show it to you.
What I saw on a day, and this is to make sense and analyze what happened on the day. Now, it's not only a significant news event because of the level of the disturbances themselves.
This was the other day.
Police injured, the number of protesters injured, the number of protesters arrested, but it's also a hot political potato. It has big implications within Mexico in quite a tense moment.
But let me show you what they was getting down.
Opposition, demonstration, stability.
Now he's
corruption,
talking about it.
and calling for change. They might want to have political affiliation as well. She described the shakedown. She was scared. I mean, she was obviously no cameras, but who's reporting on
testing whey protein isolate made for post-workout recovery. That
and drinks for their loved ones.
Here, let me bring this back. Oh, damn, I had it up. Shit.
And thousands of Mexicans marched into Mexico City to protest the government of President Claudia Sheinbaum against what they describe as rising insecurity and dissatisfaction with the government. In the protest, at least 120 people, mostly police officers.
Oh, was you classic Bezu? I love me some Bezu. I'm going to do another one on him.
A much larger demonstration drawing people of
Thank
all
you.
ages. It stretched from the Angel of Independence monument through major avenues before reaching the Zocalo.
And they got in that palace too. They got in that palace.
Demonstrators carried banners referencing Carlos Manzo, the mayor of Urupan, who was assassinated earlier this month after confronting drug trafficking groups.
We came because of what happened to Carlos Manso. For me, this is living proof that people have woken up. We cannot be in the hands of a country ruled by crime. No more, no more. I think this is the limit.
The protest started off peacefully but culminated in clashes by late afternoon, with many demonstrators kicking, shaking, and hurling objects at the metal fencing protecting the National Palace, where Sheinbaum lives and works. Riot police responded with tear gas, smoke bombs, and fire extinguishers. Some of the protesters hurled stones at officers as well. President Sheinbaum, who took office last year, has faced sharp criticism in recent weeks over her security strategy. She has questioned the motives behind the march, calling it
Okay.
organic and paid for, and suggesting it was being promoted from abroad.
Now this is what
Mexico
Trump.
City is in chaos right now.
Now this is what Trump got to
Gen Z
say.
protesters have come out in their thousands to protest government corruption and cartel violence following the assassination of a mayor who accused the president of failing to crack down on cartels.
Thousands of people have taken to the streets of Mexico City to denounce crime and corruption in the latest anti-government protests. At least 120 people, 100 of them police officers, were injured in the demonstrations.
The protesters turned out in their thousands, filling the streets of Mexico's capital, together demanding change and an end to crime and corruption.
See, and that's my whole thing. Instead of crossing the border illegally, stay in your own country and clean that shit up. We got enough problems here than to have an immigration problem. Stay in your house and do what they doing and protest and fight back. Not with violence, YouTube. I'm not promoting violence.
It was peaceful. But trouble flared at the National Palace, home to President Claudia Sheinbaum, as fences were torn down and riot police attacked as they shielded the building. 120 people were injured, 100 of them.
I'm in Detroit, but I was just in Seattle on Thursday. I went to the YB concert. If you saw my shorts on the YB, I flew all the way out there because they canceled his show in Detroit. after they canceled Chicago, because I guess they fear Chicago, because Chicago like 4 hours from Detroit. And I guess they felt that they was going to come here. It was well worth it, because I never wanted to go to Seattle, and I'm not interested in going back either. But I got my nephew was in Portland. So I was in Cali in 2021. Newsom that told California, he has destroyed California. I have no plans of ever coming back. California is awful. I'm just saying, I ain't never seen the amount of homelessness, nothing. I flew out there to see my cousin, and she passed like 3 months later. But yeah, y'all can keep that shit. That's some bullshit. I'm sorry, it's awful. And I saw a couple of my friends that moved out there. Yeah, they gonna have to clean California up for me to come back. Because when I used to go out there in the 80s and the 90s, let me see, I had my uncle stayed on Pico, and no, he stayed off Normandy and Florence off Pico. He been dead a long time though. We stayed over there. Then I had my other cousin was off Pico. Yep. But now I did enjoy going to the Nipsey mural. It was up in 2021. I know they shut it down now. And I like talking to the Rolling 60s. I mean, I enjoyed that piece because they was out there selling the shirts and stuff like that. So we stayed up there a couple of hours. That was the highlight, seeing my family other than that. But y'all can keep that shit. Yeah, I got Instagram. It's, let me see. I can show it to you. That's my Instagram. Agena0518. Yeah, you can DM me. Okay, let me get back to this.
Police.
Oh, this is what I want to say. So Trump, when he started going after the cartels, he asked Claudia Sheinberg. He said, I will help you. Do you want the United States assistance? She said no. Well, this is what the fuck you get, bitch. That's how I feel about it.
The movement is being driven by the younger generation, promoted on social media, but all ages marched. Many wore straw hats in solidarity with Carlos Manzo, a popular mayor shot dead earlier this month. He'd spoken out against the drug cartels that terrorize the country, but who often go unpunished.
A Mexican senator bravely went on Fox News to expose the depth of the corruption, confirming that Mexico is in fact a narco state.
To discuss is that Mexican Senator Lily Tellez. Senator Tellez, welcome to Fox Noticias. I'm just going to get right to it. Is Mexico a narco state?
Yes, it is. And we all Mexicans know about it. And Mexicans are afraid of the alliance between the Mexican government and the cartels that have infested our nation.
Can you explain this alliance between the president, her party, the Morena party, and the cartels?
Yes, the party has financed, has given, the cartels have given so much money to these politicians, narco politicians of Morena, to get into office, to get the power. So they protect. The Mexican government protects the cartels. That is why President Sheinbaum doesn't want the strong American leadership to help Mexico defeat the cartels.
See? There it is. There it is. There it is. She's financed by the cartel. I don't blame her. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them for doing this, for standing up. Y'all go back home and stand up in your own damn country. Get the fuck out of here.
Doesn't want the rest of the world to know what is happening here in Mexico. We are on the steps to be the next Venezuela. She is aligned with Venezuela's dictator, with Cuba, and we are losing our country. They have destroyed our Republican institutions, the democratic state, and we must. I think we all Mexicans want and welcome the support of the United States to assist Mexican people against the cartels that have us all in this crisis with the traffic on fentanyl and migrants.
Texas Sheriff Roy Boyd doubled down on this, saying U.S. investigations confirm that the Mexican government works directly with the cartels.
The thing about it is you have to look at the cartel like this. Cartel is water, and they're going to take the path of least resistance. So when you shut off one avenue for getting things in, they're going to find another avenue. I think that those actions that you speak of go more towards forcing the Mexican government to actually do something. The problem is the cartels and the government of Mexico have been in business for quite some time, that they're now to the point of almost being indistinguishable, because the Mexican government is directly involved in the narcotics trade as well. And we've seen that firsthand in some of our investigations, where the drugs weren't coming from the cartels. The drugs were actually coming from members of the Mexican government.
Nah.
And so...
wow, I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised.
Even do something is to put those pressures on them. But you also have to realize, kind of like when we gave all that money to the Mexican government to go after the Sinaloa cartel. Did they go after the Sinaloa cartel?
Hell no.
No, they went to the Sinaloa cartel and said, hey, we need to show the Americans that we're actually doing something. Who are the people you want eliminated? And so we basically spent our tax dollars in America to try to eliminate the Sinaloa cartel, and the Mexican government used that money to help the Sinaloa cartel eliminate their competition. So if we're going to deal with the Mexican government, it has to be purely in a punitive measure. It can't be in a form of a grant or assets, because if you send it south of the border, it's going to be used for the benefit of the cartels.
And with greater access to information, the younger generation is rising up and fighting back against government corruption. Protesters are fed up with President Claudia Sheinbaum's cooperation with the drug cartels that rule Mexico. And they have made no secret of their disapproval, graffitiing Narco State on the wall erected around the National Palace. And whilst the protests continue to erupt in Mexico, over in the US, President Trump is not mincing his words, sending a stern warning to the government and the cartels, confirming that he will not hesitate to send in the military.
You're planning also potentially launching strikes in Mexico or putting American troops or American personnel into Mexico to deal with it?
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. I've been speaking to Mexico. They know how I stand. We're losing hundreds of thousands of people to drugs. So now we've stopped the waterways, but we know every route. We know every route. We know the addresses of every drug lord. We know their address.
He a beast. He is a beast. He said we know the addresses of every cartel. And y'all, this is why they hate him. He said we know the addresses. Go on, Trump. That's all I got to say.
We know their front door. We know everything about every one of them. They're killing our people. That's like a war. Would I do it? I'd be proud to. I'd probably go into Congress and say, hey, and you know what? The Democrats and the Republicans would both agree, unless they're crazy. Exactly how they get their things here, how they get the drugs here, fentanyl, cocaine. Colombia has cocaine factories where they make cocaine. Would I knock out those factories? I would be proud to do it personally. I didn't say I'm doing it.
Go on, Trump. He is a law and order president. That's why right here in office, y'all shouldn't be doing shit but walking a straight line. Cause I'm just saying, cause he a law and order president. That's who he is. I, I wouldn't be doing shit right now while he in office.
But I would be proud to do it because we're going to save millions of lives by doing it.
And Congressman Carlos Gimenez agrees, telling CNN that Sheinbaum's government is no friend of the United States.
Trump also said, speaking of Mexico, that he would be okay launching strikes in Mexico to stop the flow of drugs. What was your response to that?
My response to that is we need to pick up the phone and call Sheinbaum, President Sheinbaum. She's got protests in her own country now. Her people have finally woken up to the fact that she may be involved in this too. Look, the cartels that control the northern part of Mexico not only have been shipping this poison and facilitated the shipment of this poison into the United States, but also help with the mass migration of millions of people into the United States. Her government is no friend of the United States. And yes, her hands are dirty too when it comes to the killing of American citizens. And so I would call her and say, hey, you got 2 weeks, man, to clean up your act in the northern border, or else, I've got to protect my citizens. And again, President Trump has to protect the American citizens because that's his number one duty.
And the people of Mexico agree also, pleading for Trump to take action to dismantle the narco government.
I see your sign, and it says that Trump and Marco Rubio need to come after the cartels. What is your opinion about that?
Yes, it's necessary that Mr. Trump and Marco Rubio must understand that Mexico people, citizens, are derided by government of Mexico.
Do you believe that this is a narco government?
Yes, I believe it. It's necessary that help us to the...
Oh, I got to go to the back. I'll be right back, y'all. I got to go to...
Yes, this is the reason that I say SOS. Help us, please. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Damn. That was Oscar Ramirez that was talking. Sorry about that, y'all. Shoot. I took my medicine. Now I'm going back to Oscar. Let me go back to Oscar. Because he is a Mexican journalist, and I love him.
Thank you so much. Kelly, thank you so much. And policies of all hugs, no bullets, of saying to the population, this is what you provoke from saying to the population that you cannot go to war with the cartels because it is illegal.
Y'all, this is Oscar Ramirez channel.
So I want to return the video right here. Amazing footage. It's incredible. I don't even know how many times I got gassed. You see this explosive landed on my chest and then landed on the floor and exploded. Thank God that it did not land it on my face. Also, several press, several colleagues, journalists that were hit with rocks by the police. It was the most irresponsible thing. How can you, if they're throwing rocks at you, the police was throwing the rocks back to nowhere, not knowing that on the back of this barricade where there were the young guys going at it with them, there were people that they were vulnerable. They were just there to just manifest themselves and be heard. And a lot of these people were brutally hurt. Some of them, they had a concussion. Some of them, they were passed out. Some of them, they were hit in the head with huge rocks like this. There was a point where I got hurt with a rock, and I will put that footage in a few seconds on. You know, this guy, this police officer, was throwing rocks at journalists. One of the journalists that got hurt, I went at him. We were really close to the barricade where they were throwing rocks, and the rock threw him in his chest. It was a big rock like this. I saw the police officer. Before that, he threw a rock like this big, and he wanted to hit my head. Amazing. So I skipped that, and then I saw my colleague getting hurt, and I said, I gotta go ask him if he's okay. I went over there and I said, are you okay? And he said, yes. After that, the police officer threw a rock into my ankle, and it hurt me, man. I'm not even gonna lie. And I looked at him and I said, you son of a, because he was throwing it at the press. And why? They are throwing it at the press because they don't want people to record what they're doing to the citizens. The citizens that I put on this last video, on the last pieces of this video, this is where they were basically, just initially, basically going and pushing the wall. We're getting gas right here. It was getting aggressive. I was in the middle of it. I got thrown tear gas a couple of times. I got to pull out and then pull back again. And I was wearing some kind of a thing in my that was covering up, a pañuelo. And I never thought that it was going to be like this. If I knew that these protests were going to be like this, I should have wear the protection gear. That is the helmet. That is, I don't have a helmet. I wish that I can get a helmet. And also the protection gear for the mask. Actually, there were colleagues that they were wearing, the oxygen mask and all this kind of stuff. For them to, there was a rock right there that it was thrown, close landed, complete tear gas. I got tear gas so many times. Look at this. I was just right there. This guy just walking by. It was just amazing what we saw. These are young kids that they wanted to protest. You see what it says right there? Let me just go back right here in this video.
I'm so proud of the Mexican youth. It's y'all time now. Us old people gonna just support y'all and give you wisdom, because our time is over now. It's up to y'all to make change in this world. It is.
I want you to see what it says right there. And they were the ones that wrote on this barricade. These are the same people that they preach to the public that walls and barricades are inhuman. That walls and metal barricades violates the human rights. That the wall that Donald Trump has put between Mexico and the United States, it is completely inhuman.
Right.
These are the same people. Thank you so much for the people that are sending copies. My God, thank you so much. Let me just say thank you to Kelly. Thank you so much. Lori, thank you so much. Karen, my God, thank you so much. Anonymous says, I'm so excited to see you have Merck. Thank you. Two, it's for you to buy. Vicky, thank you so much. Buy me copies right there, people. And What does this say? It says the kids wrote that. So what she did is encapsulate the whole plaza, the whole governmental plaza. She did it as a strategy because she knew that the people were going to go at it, and then they were going to get encapsulated by just from the front and from the back. So she knew that this was going to happen, or it was going to be provoked. So what is it said right there? It says medicine. It says medicinas, asking that we need medicine.
Wow. I'm just going to leave that right there. They saying we need medicine. That is sad. So the government not even supplying medicine for the people? Because that's right. When you go, they don't have insurance. So when you go, you got to pay money to see the doctor. That's right. I forgot they ain't got insurance. Damn. Thank you for hitting the like button. Speak properly. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm speaking the way I speak. Wow, that is deep. Oh, yeah, you did hear. I know I got to put some batteries in it. Shit, I can't reach it.
Narco state, and also they're yet writing medicine. These kids are not asking for $70 million. They're asking for basic survival stuff, things to survive. Medicine.
Damn.
And it is amazing that you see this confrontation from the government, that it was led to oppress the public. In the public, there were agitators that needed to be arrested. Everybody knows that. They tried to enter the governmental plaza. That is incorrect. Yes, it was incorrect. But the level of violence, how it was increased, it was completely amazing. Completely amazing. Getting gas like this continuously, at first it was like, I can take it. And the kids, look at this guy, my colleague right here, had a helmet, had all this equipment. I was like, what the hell? I never thought that it was going to escalate like this. If I knew, I would ask the audience, hey, bulletproof, I need this, can you guys help me? But I never thought that it was going to escalate like this. Never in my wildest dreams. And this is historical. Nobody thought that this could ever happen. Nobody. And we were doing it without no protection gear. You guys know that I'm a guy that doesn't like to show off with this and that. I'm not that kind of guy. If I need it, I'll wear it. Look at this. Look at this scene. This is a police officer fighting hand to hand with a young kid protester.
Wow.
What kind of training these people have? Let me just ask. What kind of training these people have? That this is the way that they manage the situations. So I'm going to play this clip. I'm going to put the volume up so you guys can actually hear the petardo when it landed. They were throwing a lot of them. And that one landed on my chest and then landed on my feet. That one, that one was the problem for me to get out. For me to get out. Totalmente incorrecto. Let me just respond to this. Rigo Paredes dice, aquí el único que ganó es Trump. No, totalmente incorrecto. Ganó el pueblo de México. ¿De qué hablas? No va a haber ninguna intervención. ¿De qué hablas? Tú estás pensando que esto es para que haya intervencionismo. Aquí no vengan con el diálogo de zurda de Morena. Ese es el diálogo para simplemente proteger al cártel y proteger al narco. Tenemos un problema, se llama crimen organizado, se llama cártel. Y está gobernando dentro del Palacio de Gobierno y da las órdenes a la Presidenta de México. Y es obvio, cuando sales a dar una declaración después del asesinato de un alcalde como Carlos Manzo, y sales y dices que esto es que no se va a ir a guerra con el crimen organizado porque es ilegal, ¿qué te hace pensar? ¿Que es culpa de Calderón? Por el amor de Dios. Esto es la realidad de México. Y esto no estoy de acuerdo, pero de alguna manera tenía que pasar. Hold on, let me respond. De alguna manera tenía que pasar para que el mundo se diera cuenta de lo que estamos pasando. Y el mundo ya se dio cuenta. Let me put this volume up so you guys can hear I will put the video now. And let me just roll the video. Look at this confrontation. Look at this thing.
Wow.
This is amazing. This is incredible. Look at all these explosions, all this. Is this, whatever happened on Saturday, it was completely shocking. Now, let me fast forward the video. And I want for you guys to understand, why am I fast forwarding this video? For you guys to understand, this video is going viral in Instagram right now. And I cut the video and I uploaded only this part because it is so disgusting what these ruthless police officers did to these young kids. Now, after they cleared the whole plaza, they started going after the young kids that they were just standing there. If you're a mercenary liberal activist, you're not going to stand vulnerable to the police officers. You're going to go and hide, right? These kids were just standing there. And they were being mistreated like this.
Wow.
How can you be a police officer and do this?
Wow.
Let me just return this. Look at that. Look at this police officer.
Absolutely classic. That's absolutely 2 mayors. One was shot on the Day of the Dead on Halloween, assassinated, and the other one, they cut his head off in daylight and put it on the hood of his car. Put his head on the hood of the car. Right, and she can't get Trump because Trump gonna come in there and blast their ass. If they put her in office, she gotta refuse to help.
Look at this. Throwing rocks into the population where there were businesses and people just scared that they did not know what to do. And you're throwing rocks to normal citizens. Now, I want you to see this video. How is fast forward? Because I was recording this, and God, thank you, they did not oppress me because I was talking mad about these people in front of them and in their faces. And look at this kid was standing right there. And he's grabbed by how many? Look at this guy right here. Look at these 3. He was just standing there scared, not knowing what was going on. And then he gets pushed down and beat down by almost 10 of these cops.
Wow.
Peleándose fuertemente con un joven entre varios. Vean nada más. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Damn.
One kid. 12.
10 para 1. Vaya, Dios mío, esto. Vean nada más.
Look how they're dragging a woman. Where are your human feminist rights, Sheinbaum? That you so much protect the women, that so much you want to do all this inclusion of women? These are 2 men dragging a woman because they think that this woman was threatening or was a radical protester. This is how you treat the young people. I wish that you were this brave to treat the cartel like this.
That part. That part.
Same amount of cojones to go and do exactly the same thing to the cartel members. But guess what? They're not going to do that. Look at this.
That's right, Classic. They've been corrupt. You got my Instagram?
With the propane tank right there, or whatever the gas tank, that possibly she was gassed. Look at this young kid. Look at this young lady right here. She looks at the camera and said, I didn't do anything. I was not doing anything. Look at this young kid. Do you think that he's dressed like an Antifa member?
That part.
Is he dressed like a radical activist? He's dressed like impersonating Carlos Manzo. And he got so beat up. You guys are going to see his face. And you know why he got beat up? Because he was telling the cops, why don't you join us instead of being against us? And this is the result. Look at it. Look at that.
Wow.
Sheehood.
Wow. All right, Classic. I see you. Okay.
How old do you think he is?
Wow.
17?
Damn.
18 years of age? How old? Look, my colleague right here, I'm going to take this picture. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Oh, man, let me remind myself. I'm going to send this photo to my colleague. This is a great photo right here of him grabbing the hand of him. He's wearing a helmet. How old do you think he's 20? Look how, and they needed like 10 people. He's already beat up. Look at his eyes. Look at his lip. He has possibly a broken nose. No, he's not 30. You gotta be kidding me.
Qué bárbaro, golpeadísimo este joven, hombre.
Yo no hice nada. Look at that.
Por favor. Ve nada más cómo lo tiene. Ya son como 10, hombre. Levántalo, cárgalo bien, cárgalo bien. Podemos parar, por favor, que no hice nada.
That's horrible. Look at that. Yeah, tell me that is 30.
Y avanza la barricada aquí. Otro más acá. Que agarran uno. El puesto se lo acaban de tirar. Lo están golpeando, bro.
Look how many.
Damn.
What they are doing when he's on the floor.
Wow.
There are like 10 of them, and they're getting beat up. And then these two police officers on the right, they go after my colleague because he was recording them. Look, it's the video.
Totalmente. Oscar Blue for Real America's Boys News.
It's just so incredible what happened. Everything, it was well documented, and we risked a lot. I'm not even going to say that we did it. We risked so much this time. And you know, I was talking to my mentor, Chuck Holton. He was preoccupied. And he called me and he said, Oscar, he sent me a message. Are you okay? I'm like, I'm at the hospital because yesterday I was at the hospital. I came back walking to the hotel and I was like, I'm in pain, man. I got the whole thing right here, purple. And I said, I'm in pain. I need to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and a couple of these young kids that they knew me when I was there said, one of them, he gave me his number. And I said, like, hey, man, I got hurt. And he's like, I'm from here. Go to this place. I know a doctor, and he helped me out. So I went over there. They checked me. And I was like, man, I told Chuck, he said, you never got hit. You know, there were missiles flying on top of us in Israel and Ukraine. There was gunshots, and you got into a gunfight in the jungle, and you never got hit. But you go to your country, and It tells you how violent is your country, man. Your country is going through a war, and nobody wants to accept that it is a war inside of our country.
Damn.
That is a reality. When you do not accept that there's a war inside of our country, your president is going to say that it's illegal to go against the war against the cartels, and he's not going to name them terrorists. Just as simple as that. Listen to this video. This is my video around 1 minute and 30 fraction seconds of all the interactions that I had with the gas and the explosion. It's just incredible. Look at this.
Shot. Toxic gas again. Toxic gas again. Look.
Damn.
Trying to prevent them from shooting. Look at that. They're shooting. Aventando gas todavía. Toxic mental pallets to outside the protesters. Look, right here it's an example. Wow, wow.
Shit, they ain't had no. They had to fight back. Damn. Man, this is so. I'm proud of the youth. I am proud. But damn. And she won't accept Trump help.
Hijo de su. ¿Qué está bien? Sí. Está bien, ya respiro. Ya. Gracias.
Gobierno que tenemos.
Exactly, Classic. Me and you on the same page. Exactly.
One of the things that you say, and I went to there were other journalists that got more hurt. This is not, freedom of press. This is not freedom of press. Getting attacked like this and being targeted like this and the press being targeted like this, it is not freedom of press.
Ain't no freedom of speech.
Do you think people got gassed up? It's just the coverage that we did. I think that it was incredible, unbelievable. And we went to the front lines because a lot of the press, they have these gigantic lenses that they don't have the necessity to go all the way.
Wow. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. This is Oscar Ramirez page. Oscar Blue Ramirez. He went to this is how I found him. He went to the Darien Gap 4 times showing how the migrants was coming from Venezuela into Mexico. He covered that whole thing. He actually educated me, and I did a video. It's way, way down. The Global Compact of Migration that the European countries signed off on, as well as the United States. And at that time, with the illegal migration, our borders, the European borders, were all controlled by the United Nations. He educated me on that. Y'all subscribe to Oscar Blue Ramirez. He is awesome. All right, y'all, I'm out. I was going to do another video. I think I am. Shit, I think I am. I don't know. I'm about to eat. All right, y'all.